哦，他就是很多啊，上界就当作界就能来，讲究把头大内家尊节，打开金锁金别做难解，着来偏界上界就把它学，上界就所界就能来，讲究把头大内家尊节，打开金锁金。若来偏见上见就不来学，上见就当错觉就能了。强求不知道内家尊切，大概金锁金别所难求。若来偏见上见就不来学，满能不当能别心见当见的我当。里外就当真不来求解，东来当东来给就当这。东来没别的我当没这不来求解，小当你当。这位当娘了，你不得求解，妈呀，那个当娘别心间他们接的吧，别别举动，真不得求解，东来当东来给举动，这不得求解，东来没别的吧，这不得求解，你人小当你当，这位当娘了，你不得求解，妈呀，那个。南北心间当街的话当地别举上能不得就接东阿拉当东阿拉给举上东阿拉没别的话当没这不得就接年人小你当这边当牛那你不得就接我真的在和上的希望我自己呀，我在希望我才。说吃吧吃呢，脏些谁给我吃的爽。
So last week we were in the middle of the song of meeting with Shiva, and there was a conversation of questions and answers that was happening between him and Milarepa.
Да.真的待会希望 OK， 不是这种多的，就是他社交课了，就是写作好像没可以，我当时有课了，多进是给下去的话，真就是去写作他年课刚样没给办到，他的，那么真的怕了，全班呢，学七百克，得数是700克，这拿了没上完即将中吧学死的，基本上社交课堂多进。马上动了，这种落去，种落去，就吃了上就没事。我这嘛听着了，我们去有就是让他们爬了墙，我来去农村有把这地呢，我们不去种些种的，提他不提，他希望我了，这不提什么对他这买地呢，可能去有在骗那啥，我现在我他妈老想了。
So next in their conversation, then Shiva asked Milarepa, where do you intend to stay? Where are you going? Please don't keep it a secret. And Milarepa then replied, son, there is no secret here. I'm going to Dingri to beg for alms during the harvest. When the harvest is threshed, I will go over to Nyana. Then in the winter, I will stay in a remote valley called Lapchi. Di parto ra?
我这热学是真的呢，咱希望我什么的，做我做农办这块多子，那我做前浪这块多些，是经常让他这学很多，可能实现。
And so then Shiva then thought to himself, I must dissuade him and invite him to come to my home for a few nights. If he accepts and I request the Dharma, I wonder if he will teach.
我今天就推没注意过，就听了确实穷办的，你们都问这个呢，有时呢用天讲么子，那可以讲些听着的，没给什么用，可能会讲穷，那个会讲长，那个看过会长。 300人前在旅工，推荐你讲，连看不出，听不给预计重建的，让他们确实做吧，让同样我们这边的，没够切换这么有，这方面就7亿，公司厂的700米，做节假米吧，他们就，共同增加，那我或者云南能拿给吧的，给我理解，3米都能可以开吧的，1米吧，开吧，你3米别少拍是，没得确实确为率，去年没看，确认吧，没那种空7万年。经常上班做了些，给你才来钱，没能特别给没钱，行动没有人吧去，这期间也什么在那学，就他的没些学的呢，这点进去呢，没弄的，就那些些吧，这样说，大七兄弟就也不学，这突击这突击工了也是多些，我他听过去从那种的。他就上去呢，他这空村里头说那边3万多公婆我的是了没拍，我这年他们说那样子，那么个是切换嘛，我有的是，可能多了，现在在我是那批长毛有的是每季的还不是那把的是了，长毛有的是7万有的是，我这里给他说蛮大的毛有的是的，这样蛮多，他做这个你能把那把切开始，去多其实。我们弄把片，那把切开始我第一次学了，我可能我是片，那把切开始我。
是我没把查上课的，
啊，
那看真的了，这看吧的，看真的，这个的，
有嘛的，这个那mix有嘛，还可能。我他经常听着说什么公布有的，让他们说呀，那么干了，他说，干嘛去花忙不有的，让他们可能弄把要不嘛是多呢，或啥东西吧，看忙不嘛，为什么那陪我啥的，那把的啥，听着说话清不有的是，我这次来马上他做我这年弄把了，我其实难多。
So then Shiva was sang a song to Milarepa, requesting him, and so to summarize the meaning of the song, so he said that if you go your ways in the direction of Nyanang, it will be hard for you to find sustenance, find food. And also on the road, on the way to Nyanang, there are a lot of bandits hiding in ambush. And then in the Tibetan side, the weather is very cold, and on the Nepali side, the weather is very hot. So wouldn't it be better if you come to my place and stay there for half a month?
这里那不就出去咱接了，你当时用大是俺搞我们是，俺们都是，我去鱼就俺们都是，伢那么的平时是去了就俺俩去写有是，特别论的用中多哈。
So then Milarepa said, in general, I don't appreciate benefactors who are self-centered. Son, I will not go to your home. I know Nyanang and Dingri better than you do. So listen here to my song.
我说其中对嘛，见我铁板就是米，操人有了给去长话，没得就米原天点吧，对他就觉得搞完的，那就是什么康就去，往着看没了，全嘛，听着咱把工了去，没俺也是了，没上，现在就是俺了就，现在俺说了家门，俺直接对不那就是，那么多的人自己说啥，对直接是了，对吧？没给现在的经济做。但通常我不接了，其实那么，不要光说做的，这天节那什么包工几嘛呀，朝上这生产多呢，这是得几什么，那没这也，这一趟这吃饭接的经济是，有年那现在没那么求我就，他们那么求长保，就把么求说路，这种么求80米，有天呢么求那时间，我上次给做那俺们都，这种这种开始了，光家呀，那就是些吧，在那的，对这用嘛，在那，那不要定自在那的，你别的这些年他们确实多，那多么出了，上网头，弄这种你看几块呢？开发工现在经济多，就这里，那么了学他们，我求解有头，俺们都，听着用大，俺们都，我从这就把那些。你嘛才就大了，我其中几多有种东西，这里年米弄那么点，我他就去街上听着在那上网广播用那， 那什么题，就当什么什么时候谁什么时候都恰嘛用是，我这就当讲那么的，那么讲到啥时候恰话的作用呢？过去中的强学生，超强学生头，加过去中期超强学生期，我这期率，就嘛的声音呢，就当俺哪里有嘛的，哪没得这恰话开始过的，恰话可能说开始个其实哪里有嘛的啥，我讲那么时候就他们可嘛就吧，别要我的，就那么嘛的个我没意思。我看那要那穿着给死，但是呢，我们按着就没事。然后，可说呀。
And so in yeah, and so in response, Milarepa says, so in and on the our way to Dingri, going from Dingri, there might be food might be rare, but since I have no attachment to a pleasant taste, there is little concern. And it might be true that on the road to Nyanang, there are many bandits, but I have the 3 jewels as my protectors, and I have bodhicitta as my companion, so I will be fine. And in any ways, I do not have any wealth or anything to take for these bandits, for these robbers. So what are they going to take from me? They can take whatever they please. So therefore, I will continue on my way to Nyanang.
我从那也买几个，可以去呢，去接触去协调这样，那些都秋季讲门堂问题，大这把去往，他呢就是马浪大的去冲突见呢，康阳门州些呢，这些弄不懂的，有被你可能走的，没嘛东西，是我这，他可就开始去呢，去写什么都是。学开始呢，那什么都是，但俺这把清不学我是啥的，是可能直接就是这少铺，你看那就去的，他可能现在对的让下都写到意思，等也轮到这铺多。
And so then, after that, after Milarepa had sang this song, the Shiva was felt rejected and he was very disappointed, and then he thought to himself, no matter what I offer, he said to Milarepa, no matter what service I offer you, you won't accept it. You won't give me the Dharma. I must be really a very sinful person. So therefore, I will take my own life before you. And he took out a dagger and pointed it at his heart and then sang this song of lamentation.
现在就是前部年上，就通常是给我做了，去买我们贴上，今年起边没些，我那年就把两把鞋，就把头就记头，前路看个东把鞋，没出来再把米头呢，一毛将麻木，过把鞋，南阳满洲少头起，这样接触头也，见放野路弄在鞋上的，现在吃都这样子，去红酒我不给咱们，吃不了吃的那些的。看了龙的去完，真出了解也把这张家坡个也在呢，也出头这场也把打跑下这把穷了，他就反正切了，连着忙了有口上，他就给我有头上，他生咱们的搞完，打马来这把有嘛，就嘛那些协调呢，没都没给我塞完，今天就是把马头。就后那时候咱们做嘛，那些没去给什么，没去来我才去完些，就是用了做嘛，这是啦，这是咱们养成去了，肯定都给去年过了，没打开学动不拉去，这三把头些马工，打零年这把切些，然后然后做那么种的。他就给我米吧，他那一起老王，先讲那个切马球，老样那些切马嘛，扬州个上街通话呗，各地吃什么马草嘛，节马节吧上节马的，节上没了，去开些老样老板我让我说，特别让说让些，那什么节呢，什么节呢，7把嘞，对他上7把嘞。 chụp top chung tu gom la yi tabe chu la zam ne tam tere nian tu drop de mo xie je ni jian jin thu la chen la chi chung zo na la liang chi chung zo na chung我他让我就是其他图唐波图罗没了那的是那就两百多张上是我这里确实那么个确实从不怕那么个等于
This is Carlos Urunang.
确实怕确怕同的去刚把码头的怕跑的时候在同晓得出头钱不接的我当做那么钱不这边有什么的上上是我到其他还是铺呢这什么学习们都是的我听就当然的大家在马来家那其他对写作业是哪位多的我
So then he sang the Song of Lamentation, and he said, this morning I thought of you as a crazy yogin. Then I saw you walking over the water without sinking in the water, and realized you are a great accomplished master, Siddha, and it's a great merit to have met you. However, whatever I offer you, you won't accept it. So therefore, I shall kill myself in your presence with prayers.
真的他真的他就是给这说吧，大这就老婆被就是突工了是，工完了这怎么办？东西去吧，马上就对吧？有吧？都当时马上穷嘛，这样的困难一般都。他那些中国人呢，训练过的，总说他，可是马上在没说，马上没对，其他没来的话，其他年轻吧几个，这的那都是那叫嘛东西，写谁呢？没来的吧，其他年轻吧几有的是经常他们这过了往给的，是马上没说话，但是马上在啥嘞，上班。
So then Milarepa thought, he has such great devoted interest and affection for me. We must have a connection through aspiration. It is certain that this is the one I saw last night in my dream. Now I must accept him. So he remembered his dream of last night, where this Dakini, whose nature was Vajrayogini, appeared before him and gave him a prophecy, like a prediction, saying that you will meet one of your 8 main close sons. So then he thought this must be one of those sons.
我真的在就是没有其中用到错的，就给什么对吧？揭露，来年这把穷啊，许多爸爸揭露了，我家长同穷啊，中中年天揭露，来了你们的穷啊，东风不年揭露，是那先查穷啊，其他年节揭露，来某些当穷啊，没俺那他可能没有。我今年左右吧的，我特些一起没事呢，就讲家长面呢，我嘛，我身上长呢，想把常常都去那种，去我们这样，去没我们早晚，这工期没那么大半夜，我这边呢的3万，贵些花钱4万，这演技那的3波，所以让他从那都的，今年呢他就几张，特别年呢结吧，现在那去没啥吧，年把那些当嘛，年前对接兄弟，年头马上吃吧，现在对接说吧，应该。这些年么，这下去都用对接下块有，情况也说先把同学对接父母有，有帮也说，空中去培育对接总来有，他把个鸟头个，他把个我鸟头，那他这项呢这个，对他在项呢从建筑，就论头有了这样的，那就是，对他在这那上，上结构性这样破呢，对他在南方地那里，那个在。这种年段呢，回去了他就干吧，如果往上进上去，3年就让我去回，就这那么现在现在就那样做吧的，去清楚了，在那说在这马路上样的过程。
So then he sang in response this song. Son, young benefactor, listen to me. With your strong determination in the mind of virtue, it is certain your bad karma and obscurations are few. With the confident way you spoke just now, it's certain you have little pride or self-regard. Through your persistence and diligence here, it is certain you have little laziness. With the heart of generosity that you have displayed, it is certain you have little avarice or attachment. With the great prajna and compassion that you have shown, it is certain you have little ignorance or aggression. With the great devoted interest you have shown toward me, it's certain you have relied on noble ones before. Therefore, my son, don't say you have fallen into despair. You who come from lower Gyaldrom, and I, the vagabond from Tsar in Gongtang, here today on this morning, have met at the bank of this wide blue river. We have come together at the base of the Silver Spring Stupa. This, it seems, is from previous aspirations. It's certain we have a karmic connection of practice. It seems the imprint in our all base has awakened. This is a song of our excellent Demdel from before. Now, when meeting with genuine reality, son, if you earnestly wish to practice sublime Dharma, if faith has welled from the depth of your being, if you won't look back upon this life, if you truly want to follow me, relatives are the dissuasion of Maras. Not thinking they're real, you should cut their ties. Food and wealth are the spies of Maras. The more that you get used to it, the worse things get. Abandon your attachment. Sensory pleasures are the news of Maras. They will certainly bind you. Let go of attachment. Youthful companions are female Maras. They will surely deceive you. Be cautious of them. One's homeland is the prison of Maras. Getting freedom is hard. Quickly escape. Putting all those aside, then you should go. If you put them aside now, it would be meaningful and excellent. The dummy of this illusory body must fall away. If we make a Demdel now, it would be excellent. The vulture of the mind will surely fly. If you soared in the sky now, it would be excellent. If you listen and do as this man instructs, son, you will have the fortune of the sublime Dharma. I will give you the abhishekas and blessings, which are the gateway, and I will give you the instructions of the profound whispered lineage. Son, you have taken hold of the path, and I, this yogi, am full of delight. Young man, keep this in your mind. And so then upon this, the young man developed great joy and was elated. He took the Jetsun's feet to his head and made many prostrations and circumambulations. Making the solemn aspiration, he went on his way, it is said. choga dencho iga tume drupsa lama de ki jitsu me kor kule drupsa na thang zom na tije ni je lama phare lo sa sa ji ne su ya lo be jitsu ke xabrong to do nga ti be yong su cha be na ro chu do da nga da me be ju be cha de chen bu nam nyam chi ke jang de den dang ma lu na na me xue Tama Wang Chu Chaba Yin Be Ke Chisu Repa Shiva Bu Main Bu Nar Ke Mechu Hin Tu Ro Zaba Chen Ji Ken Ke Chaba Dang Ye Chu Chong Tu Regu Le Me Gong Ba Dang Gu Ta Ba Yang Go Pa Ke Nam Ma Yong Ba Pa Yu Tu Men Ro Ba Ni Ma Song Ne Dang Ta Pa Zi Men Yar Ba Tam Pia Pu Ne Ni Lu Ke Gong Ba Nyam Tho Sang Bo Jin Ne Ji Chu Ne Ne Gong Ne Gong Chu Wa Ta我真的听到吧，些事了，这可能项目这有啥，项目就有啥吧。我项目这可能这，这就是这没弄去玩些才来学的，我是这没弄去玩些才学的，可能这用的是这，
在越这个这些这上去了，对的，就是我们过是，我真的那么玩的才是这在了，남자就남자 초대하신 거 들어라 푸스 어제 좀 전에 지주큐 나치네 어제 왕 덤초라 소베 왕 망보在学的我这在接了지주 사용의 지주케的자신 나다 차자 진보 나로 주로 취념 취나네 근데 자제 그这但今天落的都当地今天落当的别想着想那他培育了没着吧的这三万多你们你们当你当时呢没自己我不没伢我听着见的我们家对你路见的伢多上坡接的是我这里现在整个的这种每年嘛他们往穷中了是接没来的别希望我是没接的是好了喏
Bokhung Tama Wangchura.
You must have on to jail Shiva works. That is what Shiva works, the jail.
The Akudang Tao, the Nico Chuba Pure, the Nico Damago, or the Milarepa, the Temtulas of Pawan Kashi Sugares.
Bua to Lama Parandos are Puse. The Lama
Shiva
Hello says all one shoes. Hello, Sayra. She took some
Suki Wangshun Kensure, the Akodang Tawade.
Sawonibo, the money. What is Hello system cholas or one would not less. She took Judy. Did you have lots of mass such as was a years ago? When I did that to do it.
Johnny Shiva, the candidate to something. Continue to Shiva and Java Karadok.
Ah, to Shiva or what in you?
I could
so they the Shiva or what?
Tawade.
Or Koran Ayanji, what's so what Shiva is. Or the jailer, the amount of stages they're going to do it. Chatting Shiva would say that. 지금에 자자 용어서만 그 시와 오때 지금에 자비네 차자 친구 나로 주로 저 휴범자 되는 년도 야고지 되네 레고 마도 공공 되네 사마도 니 많이 면당 나스 메디오 다 들으치네 자 차진다 치디레스
So then about 4 months later when Milarepa was staying in Menlong Chuwa and Din a young man and his nephew then came to see him, and the uncle offered Milarepa a piece of turquoise, and the nephew offered Milarepa gold, but Milarepa would not accept the offering. But instead, he said, at that time, the Lama Parilotsava was building a stupa of Nija Vijaya in Din, and Milarepa suggested to make these offerings to Parilotsava. So then they made these offerings to him, and then also from Parilotsava they received the empowerment of Chakvasamvara and many other empowerments. And so then the nephew then remained with Milarepa and received instructions on the 6 yogas of Naropa and Mahamudra and so forth, and engaged in practice, staying with Milarepa for 5 years. And so that young man's name at that time had been Dharma Wangchuk. And then later, Milarepa would change his name to Repa Shiva. And so this Dharma Wangchuk and later Shiva would then never return to his homeland, and he would never keep more than 2 days provision at a time. And he persevered in meditation, and eventually excellent experience arose.
What it is, that's it was from the things that I young Shiva was so to Shiva was a Mari. Chambo Shiva was so to see what Ramado.
I shan't say what I
young Shiva. The Joel to me not home, the Joel.
Okay, so it's not very clear in this section which of those two was actually Shiva, but later it becomes clear. So it turns out that it's the uncle who became Shiva.
전에 다 지수 통일보 중단권의 종례스 라마 참바나나 찬스도 주주 투제전에 진제라 말바말라 담화는 지용 기와고 금세지 마당 칸로 똑관 그카다 냐면 다른 동바라 카사간보 말라 출라 출이 미반조 문고 최상 마지와 멤버 농동도 총회 카다 마로바 지표주도 소바시 남의 친도 마생 메사송나 공조 신조도 주차 마도바 공유시장 전에 탄 세상 탄이 마로베 내주 담아 인미공 장신 라나 에펜 삼바나 탄이 공나 공조도 제종의 시바고 와타진 고르세 나나 사지상테 탄냠내 야고치 고레스 정도 봐 대 양이나 지죠 냠내 야고치 초도 초시 마지 어제는 소소 첨보 첨도 마지 마산다 송도 때 공야고 자고레스 로종치 마보치 고야요 마레스 저 년주 담아서 공고레 정도
And so then Milarepa was very pleased and he sang a song of realization. And in essence, he says, you should practice well and you should practice the Dharma in an unbiased way. And while you practice, you should keep a humble position and continue without any wish for signs and so forth, continue the practice of meditation without any hopes for a scholarship or accomplishment.
전에 다 시바고 그 정도와 쉬는도와 시바고 뭐라 시바 말아나 마곰나 벌사요 세바 지키 라슈베 지츠키 와다 냥 제로병도 있어 마지나 벌사도 용을 세트 칸루레 세종도 지츠키 세드 로 마토나 니 마히나 벌사 정원이스 세리 로 대동 마토 내가 아서 야고 마히나 벌사 용레스 마르바 후지 마르베 후지다 벌사 세당 타니 바 세당 타니 말하베 And
so to that then Shiva said, so previously you said that to train in study without practicing is a deviation from the path. And please say more about this. And Milarepa replied, someone who has not let go of this life and doesn't know the key points of practice will deviate. I, a son of Marpa's lineage, have no deviations. Do not train in words or terminology and devote yourself to practice. So then next he sang this song of realization.
kapsum rikto so la sochen do bi nesu ko nirang shede nesu gehe sangwe nesu gehe sabe tabs ko tomba tseke zong ko genon sangju yuan to ko nejor nyombe sep ko gomjian tongda hebo ko mehe tamji kursab chi nyenju kanro kalang la kursa yu nyam du yinbe repa rechen chonzo hiwa wo kursa shona luba yin tesong ona gumrob zo machi laglan wo somde kursa chungna denba when tani bona tani lumnya ma senba zeje bomta jiwe top zong I think what ma zong.
So then this is the song. I bow at the feet of the noble guru, the teacher who uses bloated words. When debating is cunning, acting like a madman. When he speaks, he's like a jaded woman who chatters on and on. When he sleeps, he slumbers in pompous pride. When walking, he struts about like a Mongol. Such men have many deviations and hindrances. In general, the 3 realms and 6 classes have their respective deviations. Ordinary beings deviate through desirous actions. Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas deviate by abiding in peace. Geshes deviate in how they collect their charity. Teachers deviate with the fortress of words. Bhikshus deviate by pretending to be good. Yogis deviate by falling into insanity. Meditators deviate into the view of vacuous emptiness. Then every kind of ignorance is a grave deviation. For the Dakini's breath of the whispered lineage, thinking they are deviations, that itself is a demon. Shiva, while at the side of the great Ripa, if you think you will fall into deviations, then you are deceived. Abandon your doubts and practice meditation. When directly applying the naked instructions, if you think there are deviations, don't take them as real. Son, don't worry about studying terms. Meditate one-pointedly and you will obtain the result.
真的这节工当这个头写中呢，他你帮呢，这节工被那边从多过穷多过钱不过的，那个出国节人就这怕希望我不多过当写到车位推荐都就年把人通的破可老的凝结进学业才嘛往就过钱不接触明白，他长见生命国民的那些钱都现在呢我的希望我可以我的总说是，我这嘛这次东西那样。
So then, abandoning conventional terms, he meditated one-pointedly in the presence of the Guru, enduring great loss with respect to clothing and food. At that time, one of his friends from before came there. Seeing him in his impoverished state, without any material provisions, such as food and clothing, his friend, giving rise to false compassion, said, Shuya Dharma Wangchuk, you used to be wealthy, the treasured child. Now you have become an old beggar with nothing to eat or wear. How awful for you. So then in reply, Ripa Shiva sang a song of realization.
Lama Jesu Sanjing, Pama Nimpo, Chune, then Buna Peti, Korveju, Da Tejani to Pamala, Rani Jipo, Sanjeju, Chutu Chopo, Gajor, Sunke Penti, Lontama, Da Teve Jajan, Jipo Debala, Dama Seke, Tije Sanjing, Zinda people, Gajor de Bena Mambo, Majaji, Da Tijo, Sinti Pamala, the Rugomba Sanjing, Soba Chantor, Gajor de Yoji Mambo, Chapreju. Da Tijan Payu, Pama Jela, Jacam Chomi, Sanjing, Tedin, Sonim, Gajor, Kurio Mambo, Nomoju, Da Tijan, Kurio Pamala. 我他在过阳的希望我的在出国忙不的，在过了忙不起呢，这时候的呢，真的开始呢，别想忙不起，今呢的娘也会用什么都是我的帮你，他从他这里多，我是。
So then the essence of the song is Shiva said, I have relinquished all close relations and companions, and even the reliance on many different texts and so forth. I've abandoned all of these because being carried away by all these distractions, practice will not go well. So that is the essence of his song.
真的，那些准备过台巴节，怎么台巴的这个是吧？可能说不明白是，台巴节呢，大家忙不会是，这样的忙不会。这几处新的年呢，娘娘们的话，这几处强势做，那我做吧了，去娘做或是去把一弄，是我这来玩什么多呢？
And so then his friend, then giving rise to great faith, the friend from before, made many offerings of wealth. The Jetsin was pleased with Shiva, who served as his attendant until he passed into Parinirvana. He completely received all the key instructions of practice and thus cut through all deviations of experience and realization.
我对他这挺多，稍微这怕嘛，就没基础讲嘛，你就是嘛，你连续上节讲些吃吧，让他们头，让那公众送的有皮，是让那公众就是送的他那个。
So then here it makes it clear who the nephew was. So then it says the nephew did not become a Ripa yogi, at which the Jetsin was slightly displeased. He became known as the foolish and noble Sangyegyap and kept a small monastery at Rana in Yanang, it is said.
现在Ripa希望我的基础娘娘这些跑路可能 mention Pupa, Gombe, Yampo, Tartin, Yampo, Sanam, Tabjin Tartin, the Drupal Santis Pone, good in the Kachu Chomba in the Chuma Mumbo, Goro, Shiva, or so what good in the Kachuk, Panjalindo, Perso.
And so then, as for Repa Shiva, after the Jetsun passed into Parinirvana, when he had meditated at the Golong Menchu cave in Paduk, he perfected all the qualities of the paths, bhumis, experience, and realization. He became able to move unimpededly through rock in the practice caves, and in that very life went to the celestial realm. So, or in other words, in that life he attained the rainbow body. So this is the cycle of Repa Shiva at the Silver Spring Stupa and so forth.
Oh,他年终东巴这边过的是年终东巴是，他突些机有的地方挺难的，这里年终东巴是的。他年终东巴在这趟他在他们去举办中，他最弄嘛就是他或者人兄他都有了哇，但这边新巴西拉同样有嘛，但年终准备举办他有的这年终研究些，我当年终研究些这里有的，他的地方上去举办他有啥的，我这里有把的意思。我这印度当年总统把谁成绩过的多。
So then next we come to chapter 18, which is the meeting with Ngenzong Dumpa. And he also became one of the 8 heart sons of Milarepa. And actually there is a lineage of empowerments and transmissions that goes back to Ngenzong Dumpa. And so mainly at this time, we really mostly only have the lineages coming from Gambopa and Rechungpa, but we don't really see a lot of other lineages of the other disciples. But actually, we do see a lineage of Ngenzong Dumpa. There is the hearing or the whispered lineage of Ngenzong, which is a lineage of various empowerments and instructions and transmissions.
我记得现在咱南蒙古的是就是没来的吧，毛汤龙球可这样没别你玩口味，尤其康阳没吧，把口味嘛，家里有把这大呢用了那边，现在的怕吃起来去呢，金龙去去的，后来说我们都没来准备，有些感冒些没吧没别，虽然没都别感冒起来，错把龙种感冒在哪里，那这样没别五毛些因些吃了新加坡给那严重出国吃吧些，强调把吃吧些有。才从那么几个都才从那些吧，这样的红色的，为基础也是讲，在这儿从北个出国的，上偏见在呢领导被基础去，用到出国这意思吧，因研究你了，你研究的只能去年可能差吧些，我做的过那里，些吧长桥，今年就也嘛些，那么变成吧些别个，你前一模完的了，对别过去，从这是。基础课年年新来的话，你训练过的，总说是他怎么老像那样。
So the Jetsun Milarepa did not have any wealth or material enjoyments of any kind, but carried only a single bamboo walking stick with all of his necessities attached to it. One day, while attended by Sebin Repa, he went begging for alms in the practice of equal taste at a small castle by the confluence of rivers in the Chim Valley. And there were no people living there except for a single old woman. Milarepa went to the old woman and said, "We are here begging for alms." The old lady replied, "I don't have anything to give you, as I'm very poor. Outside in the fields over there is a rich man of Ngenzong named Changchu Bar. Today he's working on his farm. Go there and he will provide you with something." With that, the father Jetsun and his disciple son went there. When they arrived, the rich man was hauling a big bag of seeds. The great Jetsun said, "Benefactor, it is said that you are rich. Thus, please give us 2 yogis today's provisions." The man replied, I can give you provisions. If you're truly a genuine yogi, then you know how to take appearances and use them as examples. I ask you, please sing a song of realization in connection with my plow here. Then the Jetsun and his disciple Milarepa both sang this song of realization in reply. And so this is the song. Well done, arrogant benefactor. Rich man of Nyanzong, listen here. In the first month of summer and the 3 of spring, when all the Tibetans are plowing their fields, I, a yogi, also plow a field. On the hard earth of the field of the afflictions, the base, I scatter the manure of faith, the preliminary, and soak it with the moisture of the 5 amritas. A wise and intelligent farmer plants the seed free of confused conception. Yoking together the 2 oxen of non-duality, he attaches the plow endowed with prajna. The driver, who is endowed with samaya, sets to work the plow of non-distraction. Then, using the whip of diligence to speed it along, though the afflictions are hard, he digs them up. The sprout of awakening begins to rise, and at the time of the result, it will be fully ripened. You are a farmer of this mundane world. I am a farmer of the lasting crop. Whose harvest is greater, we will look and see. Who will have ultimate happiness, we will compare and find out. I have made examples of these appearances and sung this song of work in the fields. Be happy now, you arrogant man. Accomplish self-benefit and accumulate merit. And so then the man said, well then, Yogi, what does the walking stick that you hold in your hand symbolize? This thing that seems like a child's toy or some crazy man's tool must have some kind of meaning. Please explain the meaning. And then again, the Chichen sang this song of realization in reply.
he goes some Shilla goes some somewhere, Bala Kanto Jotun, Kanto Jotun, Liba, Shechuni Juba, Mibeta, Ban Domla Jiba, Doba, Chuni Tongan Derveta, by Yenega in Servan, Choku, Tema Mibeta, Bala Mugu, Nugu Doba, Chunan Samchi, Dombeta, Napo Sase, Doban, Woodian Nature, Repala, Namso Chamo, Yomeda, Bachuri Yen, Zumbat, Chu Tukin Yamsu, Lameda, Ban Zekin Yi to Womat. 群众为听见对吧的，把家境过吧，那就是两百个，江苏上给几万，这个往这对吧的，把了就是大把的，那就你就七万的，那个就按照大把的，那个用天两百的，自然成下大把的，那就是七八两百的，江这你说几把的，从小南中七把的。 将这嘛问题弄把的，为什么马上几把的，这边弄么大把的，那就讲从过来的，没下空嘛大把的，经常超出起来的，土卡的安龙，土卡的格波，土农格波大把的，究竟过来的，接下来嘛大把的，两万发展没别的，这啦没弄大把的，都是那的小把的，不真弄大把的，有么什么就别的，先工多的大把的，把下。 这嘛没白的，发送成嘛大把的，那么一了成嘛的，只有一个大把的，也被确实找把的，那么这个干嘛大把的，不老忙不可为的，那就那这把的，没那他边对吧的，这种行啊，这把我会好像有白的，就没求上，没求见啊上这把的，我去摸了大白大，这把下干部大姐的，大口岸，大那米个，同确实多好。 提供起基于对基金，他们就都是，我打这种多，打的就当把家庭过年们的家庭，这种多，他这人口学多在，他这些学的结婚什么的。
So it's a quite long song, but in brief, Milarepa is singing about the deeper meaning of his walking stick.
对。 我在今天呢，把价格我就当这边我那边用大的，他花了700斤的，恰才下不几我那么那马些话都去那去把的，跑不了选择去呗，那么也是下对呢，就买一天的前几天可能就没用，这一个去呗，一个用大那里头，那么啦，基础也呢，其他个突然出来，姑娘这种嘛去，基础也是就过来过这种说是，我真的大国才把学过节呢，我喜欢是让去那带着去。 La vérité dit que chama de fuga que la reste da propria via ci reste per me da ma no si reste importando.
And so then the benefactor gave rise to a great faith, and he supplicated Milarepa until I die. Please be our object of veneration and stay here, make this your home. But Milarepa, of course, would not agree, but he did stay for another 7 nights.
我这里在公娘中其实的话，我们娘中其实的接受中国中的，我那用到才把钱就过多没错用，就看了那的从那个就像这边几天了，农有出来了，南大的是，去几多年呗，没这些，那他们就去哪，那呢他们就去哪里，也去买西的，你吃吧，喜欢吃的，想吃的，他家公麻辣呗，热大面呗，东王米，那么讨给这些，永远多把讲起的，那是从那不麻辣，那这些了，大王米，鸡米它也都这些，就呢。 那个我讲的，老朋友说马拉，确实用了就嘛没，我当时就准备，如果是吧，现在结论到我马拉，马普软那么就嘛没，讲说等去那边去，沟通就嘛前期那个问就过马拉，这里面的往嘛，隔天他也破账的，什么期完前的，老朋同意马拉，看啥不边同嘛，上周面前你把市场是完前，现在东部马拉，新普软那么就，用妹妹来就这个不给确的。 突然通嘛，前期没才把见马拉，对不见了，然后根据那边他妈强调头把前期，没那时候见了马拉，刚才那然后你就他妈人不去，我上街吧，前的没你路见去， Malabe, Imagine like Gumami, Sadon Trojin, Polo, Uasiva Chadi, Chujamon, Mala, Messana Jena, Jewam, Sanzino Jetompo, Ranja Iba, Chaji, Chumidonchugo, Mala, Norugo, Jacke Tomo, Manager Milarepa, Nene Seme Repani, Chujimum Gedon Chupozum, Chason Party, Yesaji, the Molam Jebe, Shaban, Tanemedu, Champion, Chuyula, Samuel Pochin, Serenity, Molan Depths. What had you making water is over to Zondua? 他这当期呢，确实的，看了这里了，我认识。我从他刚第一个来看我认识，就想就点情况。这确实啊，推出有咱们的推出什么做着认识。我确实在期咱们的没些是做着认识。我推中国，这里他这当确实，他确实啊，第一个来看我认识，没做那么点做呢，上面确实推过嘛认识。我这就认识，我等他。 Also Molam Jelly, Shama Dunyam is, or that's it is, the selling what the Molam Jelly is.
So then he requested the Chechen to, that before he left, to sing a song or to say a few words about his meditative experience. And then Milarepa sang this song of realization. And so the song says that Milarepa says that so it's easy to speak about the Dharma. To really get to its essence is a little more difficult. And thinking I'm going to practice the Dharma, life comes to an end, exhausts itself. So it is a little difficult to practice the Dharma, and it's really only those endowed with great merit who then really get to practice the Dharma. So then in the end, Milarepa says, however, we have met for 7 nights. We slept in the same place, and that is also because of our past connection of aspiration prayer. However, now is the time to part. I will pray for your long life and freedom of illness. So then, after that, he said, Milarepa then said to the rich man, "You're giving me food, my teaching you Dharma, along with this place to sleep. These 3 things are important. Devotion is called the seed of the mind. If you always have such faith, then that is the cooperating cause for the next life. For creating the connection of aspiration, it isn't necessary to teach a lot of Dharma, nor do we have to be together for a long time. The condition of the focal object and the mind's seed of devotion must come together and mingle for just a short time. It is by the power of aspiration that we have come together. The mind of faith and intent is important. These days, people have not accumulated merit, and so they cannot see many inner qualities of people. Instead, all they see are the tiny outer faults. Having devotion doesn't depend on being near or far from me. If you are near me and become very close, then you will just become full of resentment and your Dharma practice will not progress. You need to habituate to Dharma and virtue. I will make aspirations for you. You should also make supplications to me and give rise to devotion. If the conduct and level of faith that you have right now does not change, then there is no doubt that in your next life, you will have an exceptional rebirth and have abundant enjoyments. For practicing the Dharma, you don't need to travel to many different lands. Furthermore, when you see lots of negative conduct in others, then your mind becomes twisted. Engaging in the Dharma of the worldly customs of your own country is good. Accumulate merit on the side. But simply giving to beggars without hesitation is also sufficient if it is done with the intention of bodhicitta. There is no other good thing called Dharma besides that. You will not be able to imitate me. If a fox tries to jump where the lion jumps, he will break his spine. Most Dharma practitioners are not able to practice in the way that I do. So therefore, householder, do not waver from this strong faith you have now. So then the Master Jetsun and his disciple, so that's Sepe and Repa, they went on begging for alms in the practice of equal taste. They came to a village where there was a teacher of the mantra tradition. The teacher said, "Yogis, where are you from? From the looks of you, it seems you are enhancing the practice of perfectly pure view and meditation through the conduct of equal taste." The Jetsun replied, "Do you have the practice of view, meditation, and conduct or not? As for mine, I could explain it, but you wouldn't understand. Therefore, to make a good karmic connection, this morning we have come to ask you for some provisions." The teacher said, "I can certainly give you provisions. As I am a teacher of a tradition of mantra, I have some understanding of those practices. In my own tradition, I practice view, meditation, and conduct in this way." Then explaining his tradition's view, meditation, and conduct in great detail, he asked, is it concordant with your own?" The Jetsun said, "You should have fear of samsara and let go of this life. Have the intention to quickly attain Buddhahood and apply yourself. If you do not practice without distraction in accord with a qualified guru's instruction, you will go down a mistaken path merely for the sake of wanting to be famous, while engaging in the view, meditation, and conduct of coarse words written in letters." Then he sang this song of realization.
riba yinba ma shuri zanga da ye dongba la da dongmi ba ma shi rang sim ye ne nam da la zui ta ju ma ma li be lama chambe ma nang joba kankar ma chi sen de hian du chena la du ke ba chi ma yin na chena ju ba den ba la ta gong ne ma chi ne du je go lu ta bi ku ba nge so men ro be te li da ma ju ba de rang dong mi be nyam ne du so da te ma lo han ma le.
So then this is the song. Alas, listen here, great teacher. Without giving up this life you have, you won't accomplish the benefit of others. While not realizing samsara and nirvana to be one, and engaging in the unsurpassed conduct of equal taste that comes only from looking at books with black letters, does that not carry you down the river of the 8 concerns? With your view of union, free from extremes, have you not fallen off the cliff of the 4 possibilities? With your meditation of mental non-engagement, have you not been bound by characteristics? With your samadhi of great bliss, don't attachment and desire deceive you? Without the blessings of body and speech, don't the phenomena of characteristics bind you? When you meditate upon appearances as the guru, doesn't your awareness become distracted? In teaching the secret mantra through symbols, have you not taught them devoid of symbolism? The primordial purity of your own mind, is it not corrupted with fabrications and lies? Without the noble guru's permission, aren't you just acting half-heartedly? Your activities of attachment to this life, are they not obstructing demons? If you don't have view, meditation, and practice that is endowed with a blessing lineage, because of the deception of beguiling demons, it is certain you will not be free from samsara's lower realms. Therefore, follow a genuine lineage. Practice well without self-concern.
동바 신도 대바 존의 신도 미도 원자체 차한테 샤브지워랑 량창의 년코 포섬 토바친의 차신 정말 수비 주제 레전지 로마 강사시도 공의 라체 강라 총의 왕자다마 민주국의 특세 년종 동바 장주부제보 시켜봐 총 김롱바차 고라 년종 동바 상지의 버스 말로.
So then the teacher became full of faith. So very true. How amazing, he cried out. He prostrated, taking the Jetsun's feet to his head, and invited him to his home, where he gave abundant service and respect. He asked to follow Milarepa, and seeing that he was a person with karmic connection, the Jetsun allowed him. Then they went to the Lachi snow mountain, where Milarepa gave him the abhishekas and instructions, thus ripening and liberating him. He became the heart son of Milarepa, known as Ngenzong Domba Jangjup Gyalpo. This is the cycle of meeting Ngenzong Domba and the song of the bamboo walking stick in Chim Valley.
저는 남은 거를 지투 Milarepa 대니 라치 칸라 쇼비트 제 노브제 나람도 후민 제마 루바당 rinpoche 젠지 젠바 셰죠 내저 Milarepa 라메 가히 예발 칸데스 공도 송셰 람즈 지베 렌초제 망보상 티바원웨게 제수 송마 투제 송셰 제수 송셰 나나와 초도 나르시베 토공라 대예 라마 대예담 칸로케 공파 칸로 라메 까지 조체 구와이도 구와상 농태한선 도고 지장로고 공대 라치네 대세라 총배 남즈 바라서 냐나 장다르서 담바 자호상 자호 지주 총도 모는 제디 장내수 대한저 소고자 친구或者 소제도 담바 자호 단한 소제인데라 지주랑 토란 총배게 추파군나 고배게 워케 좀바 쇼쇼베 지주게 선동제 책 워드 좀 조스 마로샤나.
So then next we come to chapter number 19, which is the meeting with Dampa Gyakpopa. And Dampa Gyakpopa was one of the 13 close heart sons. And so it says, so when the Jesu Milarepa was dwelling at Lapchi Snow Mountain, one night there appeared in a dream a beautiful girl adorned with precious jewels and bone ornaments. She said to him, Yogi Milarepa, in accord with your guru's instructions, you must go to meditate at Tise Snow Mountain. Along the way, you will meet with someone with karmic connection. You should accept him. She said this and disappeared. When he awoke, Milarepa thought, this was the Yidams and Dakinis repaying the Guru's kindness. Since it is the admonishment and prophecy, since it is his admonishment and prophecy, I must go. Then he went from Lapchi to Tise. On the road at the confluence of Gyak in Nyanang, Dampa Gyakpopa encountered the Jetsun. He came up to Milarepa and invited him to where he himself was staying. In the rows of a great Ganachakra offering, Dampa Gyakpopa asked, while sitting in the rows of this gathering, could the Jetsun please tell of what has arisen in his mind and what is necessary for all practitioners in the form of a song of realization? Then in reply, the Jetsun sang this song of realization, the 21 points of mind. So this place, Tise, is actually, so Tise Snow Mountain actually is Mount Kailash. Some refer to Mount Kailash as the Tise Snow Mountain. And Mount Kailash was one of those meditation places that Marpa instructed Milarepa to meditate at. So Marpa instructed Milarepa to meditate at Mount Kailash because it was also a holy place foretold by the Buddha. And so then the Dakini appeared in Milarepa's dream to encourage him to follow this prediction.
저는 다 제도 장하 탑랑치 니수 남에 담아 som들랑게 kumsen치 데네 체와 좀나데 제도 속도 니도 니수 스니 농도도 som들 semla 랑제신 데 소문 추바 남솜라 제네 남에 가히조 니네 랑게 심동도 som들 신동 투제조 데네 조바 남솜라 제도 동게 제도 치에 동게 니수 랑게 동게 som들 유제 나사히 데네 시와 남솜라 제도 체케 데뷰 니네 티베 량라게 som들 심지 체니게 Then keep on Namsong, they do Deva, Momi, Nina, Nama, Hebo, Zonte, Satan, Chevan, then Toma, Namsomi, Jadu, Menam, Source, the Nisu, don't you, Source, Zonton, control, Source, then do what Namsong, Samji go to Nishu J. Then your Lola, Shavan, Jet Chuzi Nama, Tasoko, J, go for Lord Nana, Tasoji, Godon Tomba, Jalaga, Tibetaba, Toba, Tata, Gondo, Zumune, Kayang Gala, Jian, says. So I'm going
to read this song. And so this song, the 21 Points of the Mind, is actually one of the famous songs. So it says, 1, a secret mantra, the great path of means. 2 are the great key instructions of the Guru. 3 is great perseverance in meditation. These points are the 3 greatnesses. 1 is prana control penetrating the vital point. 2 is mind itself penetrating into the expanse. 3 is penetrating mastery over your mind. These points are the 3 penetrations. 1, the command of the Guru is accomplished. 2, the reality of one's mind is accomplished. 3, others' benefit is spontaneously accomplished. These points are the 3 accomplishments. 1, the outer obstructing spirits and demons are pacified. 2, the inner afflictions are pacified. 3, the sickness of body is pacified. These points are the 3 pacifications. 1, one becomes expert in poetic words. 2, one becomes expert in answering questions. 3, one becomes expert in the nature of mind. These points are the 3 kinds of expertise. 1, one sees bliss as not a real thing. 2, one sees appearances nakedly. 3, one sees them as free of labels. These points are the 3 aspects of seeing. 1, the people gather together. 2, the enjoyments are gathered together. 3, the dakinis gather together. These points are the 3 gatherings. These 21 necessary points of mind dawned in a yogi's mind and were put to song. In general, Dharma practitioners should cherish them well. In particular, my disciples' sons should cherish them well. For only a few in 100 will the necessary points come together. Therefore, attaining liberation is very difficult. Now, while these necessary points have come together, even though they are difficult, put them into practice.
전에 다다다 지난 담바지 앞에서 되게 지중에 많이 나쁘고 아마티게 지주 표현에서 복제 표현에 담보 어다 야침보 차 대단한 시야 총서봐 대부분에서 담보
So gepure
뭐 그런 아메 그런 아마요라
di tamba gyakupai amadi
아마티 근데 지수 지나 부진스 네 추야 보지야 제가 오서 니마 표현 너무 그래서 침보 그래서 전에 샵신장스 왕타 담아做吧나는 냠토타지의 동공 예외제 총 담바 접지에 고스보다 동검스 처반사 예외제 총스하고
Trava Chungsunga. And so this Tampa Gyalpopa was actually someone that Milarepa had met long before in Yanang. When he was still a child, his mother actually offered the child to Milarepa as a disciple, as a practitioner. And so now the time had come and he had grown up and he became Milarepa's disciple. And so Tamba Gyalpopa then followed Milarepa as an attendant and was given the abhishekas and instructions. Through meditation, he perfected his experience and realization and became one of the close sons of Milarepa, who were, it says, teacher meditators, but meaning, so he was a monk disciple of Milarepa.
장카충레파 지베 고스 장카충레파 대한 예베지 죽소미라티 나제레 나모그르스 제주 밀라레파 본롬가히 농된바다 칸테스라 총베 로원 초바르트 차페프시 노마 고마시 네주 담는 로마니베 제르 총탑차 근데 야 로보도 요초조히죠 남다 동세트 총베 칸테스라 총베시 야마 부모는 제 거와 거라라토 그 이치 집에 차당 거와 마투 진에게 다샤남나 제베 제게 미베 고르게 존세 슈슈스 베 렌트 네저 인투 컨코르드 존소스 대대종형.
And so then next we come to chapter 20, which is the meeting with Karchung Repa. And Karchung Repa also became one of the 13 close sons of Milarepa. So according to prophecy, the master Jeje Milarepa and several of his disciples went to Lowo Lake and having gone to Tise Snow Mountain. At that time, one of the disciple meditators pretended to be ill and would walk no further. So the journey was interrupted. Thus, Milarepa stayed and taught Dharma at Upper Lowo that summer. Autumn set in and the cold winds came. When they began the journey back towards Tise, many male and female students accompanied him as far as Gora Pass. At the point where they saw him off, they prostrated and circumambulated many times. Then the students requested the Jitsin to sing a song about how their future meeting was uncertain. in reply, he sang this song of realization on the way of a yogi.
다 등삼신 들고 등삼시 때 사고지마 치고 드네 다다다디 공자가 노티스.
So we stop here for tonight and continue next week. And now we will meditate for a bit.
왜? 왜? 이나 이제 막 당장의 dedication 이거를 几点钟
지금 중에
dedication 通的呗
glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind, root and lineage lamas, divine assembly of Vedams and assemblies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, yoginis and dakinis, dwelling in the 10 directions, please hear my prayer. May the virtues collected in the 3 times by myself and all sentient beings in samsara and nirvana, in the innate root of virtue, not result in the 8 worldly concerns, the 4 causes of samsara, or rebirth as a Shravaka or Pratyeka Buddha. May all mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me and mine, obstructors who harm, misleading Maras, and the hordes of demons experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and jealousy not arise in my mind. May attachment to fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern for this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta. And through that, may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. May the torment of suffering not arise even at the time of my death. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of mind as such and the pervading clarity of Dharmata. May I in any case gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the bardo.
Oh yeah, some 2节切真的一那2节切当那是真的他是不是不行嘛
So thank you everyone and see you next week.
Really? Yeah, okay, thank you. Good night.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Rinpoche.
you.
Thank you, Ina.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. 2节切 Thank you. Gracias.
Gracias.
Gracias.